Hi, my name's James Coote, and I have my own independent one-man studio called Crystalline Green Limited, and I've been making a game called Flight of Light for the last couple of years, and this is the first in a new series of dev diaries that I'm making for the game. So about about 2 months ago, I decided to make a change of direction with the game and go for something that was easier to finish, quite frankly, because I'd already been working on this game for 2 years, more than 2 years now, since I first started it. And so I've gone for this sort of futuristic rhythm racing. I'll explain what rhythm racing is in time, but for today I'm going to be talking about the first level in the game, which I've dubbed the forest level, or at least that's its code name. And I'm going to take you through the process of how it was made. So to begin, we actually have a staging scene. So rather than using the main game scene, I'm just going to have this scene here where you can see we've got all the different assets, all the different bits of rock and bits of trees and so on that we're going to use to make the floating islands laid out. And it's all one of the nice things, since the game is made in Unity, one of the nice things about it is that you can actually create the levels in the Unity editor, and then you've got them straight away to play with. So in this case, you can see I've already made like a couple of different floating islands, and just for demo purposes, we're going to add some new rocks to this particular island. There we go. So just copy and paste one of the rocks. You can move it around using the using the Unity editor. Make sure that it's got a nice position, that there's no bits sticking out, no bits that look odd or missing, like so. The next step is to turn those islands into Unity prefabs, which we can then drag and drop into the main game world. As you can see here, they need a bit of scaling up, and also putting back to the center point of the world. That way they're just easier to position. So you can see I've already placed most of the islands there, with the sort of stalagmites hanging down and different placement and so on. So the track itself is actually originally started life as a Formula 1 track that I got off the Unity asset store and have adapted to make into this futuristic roller coaster. It's actually quite nice because it's got a number of editor tools, so you can drag the different points of the track around to rearrange it. You can add and delete points and curves. So here I've decided I'm going to make the track a bit wider, and you can see there you can type in the numbers as well if you want to be precise, as I like to be. That's the programmer instinct coming through. None of this, a little bit here, a little bit there. It's like, no, everything's got to be symmetrical. After that, it's just a case of testing the track over and over again. Oh no, I have to play my game loads and loads and loads. What a disaster. But actually, you can see here we're going through the section that I just laid out, and it's actually pretty smooth. It's pretty nice, using the old placeholder spaceship here, and some of the older graphics as well. But later on you can see, okay, we've got this cool movement weaving through the stalagmites, but at this point the track sort of flips back on itself, and it's very jarring for the player. You suddenly change direction and your view suddenly swings wildly. It's not very pleasant, it's not very fun to play, especially if you're going too fast. So for this particular level, actually went back and completely redid the track. Oh, not completely redid the track, but basically said, right, this section with the stalagmites, it's not working. We're going to move it over here, so that rather than having to loop back round and then try and match up with the where the start finish line is, go in a slightly different direction, go loop around the other way, and then that makes the whole track a lot smoother. The final stage is then to make the level look nice, so add all the little finishing touches and sort of decorate it essentially with vegetation, trees, waterfalls, rainbows, because everyone likes rainbows, so, which are remarkably hard to place, but I will talk about that in another video. But yeah, in this case you can see here I'm placing one of the trees. Again, it's a bit of a copy paste job, so take one of the existing assets, say right, we just need another tree in this corner, so give it a bit of a twist, give it a bit of a turn, maybe flip one of the axes so that it looks different. It's a little smoke and mirrors, it's a little bit of an illusion, and in fact these assets are designed to be viewed from a bit of a top-down angle. That's why some of them look a bit funny, because they kind of, if you see them edge on, they sort of, they don't look like they have any volume, they just look like sort of strange flat sheets. And then finally we have the lighting, which I won't pretend to be an expert on, but Unity actually makes it relatively easy to accomplish some reasonably good looking effects. So you can see here we've got some pretty badass looking mushrooms. Not sure I'd want to go anywhere near them, but yeah, in this case they're glowing kind of radioactive yellow, and again it's fairly easy to sort of play with the settings, adjust the intensity, change the colour, and so on and so forth, and they're relatively performant as well. So as long as there aren't too many spread around the level, as long as there's used in a few key places, they can actually make for some interesting effects for relatively little cost, which is nice. So, and again, it's just a sort of copy paste job. You can move the source of the light around, change the settings, make things glow, which is pretty cool. So now you know how levels are made in Flight of Light, and if you have any comments, then do let me know in the comments section. And if you're interested in the game, then you can find out more by following me on Twitter at James A. Coote, that's COOTE, or by going to crystallinegreen.com, which is the studio website, and I'll have all the links for that in the description as well. Thanks, and see you next time.